Round 7 of the Formula 1 Championship heads to Imola. Finally, we missed out last year because of the horrible floodings in the area. Last time we raced there, 2022, and we had a Red Bull 1-2. And it looks like we're on for something completely different this time round, doesn't it? After a fantastic Miami Grand Prix, it looks all open and all to play for because we've got big upgrades coming to this circuit. An absolute classic on the calendar. It's 63 laps, 4.9 kilometers this circuit. We only get the one DRS zone around this track, 19 turns. It's a high downforce circuit, and over the years it's had its fair share of drama. It's 30 years since the passing of Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger, so there'll be a lot of commemorations and thoughts going to them absolute great racers. It was a horrendous year that year, wasn't it? 94 for Formula 1 at Imola, and I'm sure it'll be remembered in the right manner this time. I mean, even it started with Rubens Barrichello having a horrendous incident that weekend. So there'll be a lot of that going on in the background, I'm sure, for this weekend. But let's get back to the action and the present. It should be an absolute cracker. And who will lead the way? Who knows? Because it was thrown wide open in Miami, wasn't it? McLaren right back in the hunt. And who's to say they won't be there again this time out? The weather conditions for this weekend should be sunny Friday, Saturday, and with potential and possible for rain. So there's another element in the mix here for this weekend. Tyre talk now. There's a softest in the range for Pirelli, the C3 for the hards, the C4 for the mediums, and the C5 for the softs. It's normally a one-stop strategy here, but normally down to the 30-second plus pit stop here. It's probably one of the longest pit stops on the calendar, and so that normally dictates a one stop, and hopefully we get a decent race when we get that. But if we get good close racing, that's all we can ask for. And my predictions for this weekend, I'm going to go for a pole for Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen lining up in second place, and Lando Norris from his high of Miami going to come up in third. For the race, I'm going for a Charles Leclerc victory. This time it's all eggs in Charles Leclerc's basket. Lando Norris for P2 and Max Verstappen for P3, and that'll be surprising for everyone, wouldn't it? I'm predicting a good weekend for Ferrari this time out. It should be one where they excel. It's their home circuit. It's one where they're bringing big upgrades, and if they work anything like McLaren's, I'm sure they'll be making the most of it. And I'm not predicting a good weekend for the Williams outfit. They've had a horrible struggle at the moment, haven't they? No points on the table, but I don't think this circuit's going to be any better for them. It's the first of the European legs, and that's normally what we get here is upgrades, and plenty of them. Sauber are finally bringing the upgrades to resolve their pit stop issues. They're hopeful that they can see the back of that. It's been horrible for the first 5 races, hasn't it? Actually, Miami didn't affect them too badly, but they were never really in the races there. Red Bull are also bringing a big upgrade here, their first one of the season, and it will be interesting to see where that puts them. Will they jump that much further ahead? We are now in the part where we don't see huge upgrades from the guys that are leading at the front, do we? So, you know, where will they go from here? It'll be interesting to see what that car looks like when it rolls out on Friday practice FP1. Same with Ferrari, haven't they? We've seen, or they've tested some of their car. They did a film shoot, probably due because they got the HP logo on their car, and they have done promotional videos so they can run 200 kilometers on that, and they've managed to put some of the aero package on that to see what that looks like. It's completely different in terms of the tyres that they can use, so they're not the current Pirelli spec that they can put on during them film promotions. So it's not all pure fantastic data for them, but it'll be good for them to get some points and see how that aero works in comparison to what they've had on their computers back in the factory. So Fred Vasseur has sort of downplayed the upgrades here, hasn't he? He said that don't expect big things. It's not a big jump. Not kind of like what we've seen with McLaren, who went as far as to say this is a B-spec car, so massively significant upgrades from there. But they did say early on in the season that they are behind the wheel, and that's probably why they've bought such big upgrades. Ferrari sort of downplaying it? Is that just to, you know, put a downer on things and limit the expectations before they just go out and bam it on the weekend? Who knows? But they have apparently copied the side pod layout that Red Bull have gone, haven't they? They've gone for it was the scoop under, now they've gone over the top, haven't they, Red Bull? So they will see more of that air intake flow, the same as Red Bulls. So let's see if that works any better for them. Charles Leclerc has also have a new race engineer from Imola onwards. His old engineer is moving on to a different side of the factory. Apparently wasn't completely happy with him, was he, Charles Leclerc, for this room engineer? That's what the rumours are saying, and that's why there's been an immediate change there. Ferrari have also signed 2 key men from Mercedes, Loic Serra and Jerome D'Ambrosio. You remember him, he was an ex-racer. Loic Serra will lead up the chassis development side of things and the chassis performance side. He was lined up to be Toto Wolff's replacement as a team boss when potentially Toto leaves. So a massive coup for Ferrari here. Very well respected at Mercedes. And interesting to see that, you know, he's now moving up to Ferrari. And Jerome D'Ambrosio, ex-F1 driver, he's going to be the deputy team principal behind Fred Vasseur, and also he's the head of the Ferrari Drivers Academy going forward. So that's a role that he did for Mercedes. He's carrying that on here, but also a step up to deputy team principal for him at Ferrari. That's all going to take place at the end of 2024 for them two to join. And we should be in for an exciting weekend, shouldn't we? If we get McLaren still up at the front, we've got Ferrari with upgrades. Could we see another third team potentially in the mix for a fight for the win pole? Who knows? But Red Bull are also bringing packages, and I'm sure that'll push them quite far forward. But it's not much in it, is there? There's only a tenth or two here or there, and if your upgrades can bring that sort of development for you, that can push you a really long way forward. Mercedes are also bringing the second part of their upgrades from Miami. They did say that the first part worked as expected. Didn't quite produce the performance on track that we thought it would, but they did say it was kind of hampered slightly by them not having the full package, and we should see the best of that when it turns up in Miami. So it'll be interesting to see where they lie going forward from here. They've got an awful lot of work to do to get on top of this car, which again for the third year has just been absolutely crap. There's no two ways about that, is there? And yeah, we should be in for a cracker. Friday is free practice. We're back to the traditional normal race weekend finally. So free practice 1, 2:30 p.m. UK time, FP2 4 p.m. Friday. Saturday FP3 11:30 a.m. and qualifying 3 p.m. and the race starts on Sunday at 2 p.m. UK local time. Should be in for a cracker because I'm excited because we've got big upgrades coming. Who's got it right? Where does this move teams going forward? And can McLaren continue their fantastic performance that they pulled out in Miami? Not long to find out. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment as always. See you soon.